Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets.
And air.
Today, we've got a fascinating mix of tech news on our radar, the kind of stuff that really gives you a glimpse into where things are headed.
Yeah, some really interesting developments.
We're talking AI doing surprising things, shakeups in the social media world, and even some rumblings in the automotive industry. Consider this your curated rundown. We've sort of sifted through it all so you don't have to.
Exactly. It's about getting to the heart of what matters and understanding the bigger picture behind the headlines. So what grabbed your attention first from our collection today?
This story about this Columbia student, Chung-Roy Lee, is just wild.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
Suspended for building an AI tool to ace software engineering job interviews. I mean, that's a headline in itself.
Right.
But then he goes and raises over $5 million for a new startup, Cluely, which is apparently all about an invisible AI tool to help you cheat on everything. You've got to admit, there's a certain, audacity to that. What's your take?
Well, what's fascinating here is this evolving landscape of what we even consider merit.
How so?
Think about it. We once relied solely on our own knowledge for exams, right?
Sure.
Then came calculators, which sort of shifted the focus in math. Now we have AI that can potentially assist with complex tasks, even in, high-stakes situations like job interviews. This funding, while, it raises eyebrows, might also signal a recognition that the definition of skill in certain fields is being actively redefined by these very tools.
That's a really interesting way to look at it. It's not just about right or wrong, maybe, but about how the game itself is changing.
Exactly.
Speaking of widespread AI adoption, the growth of ChatGPT search in Europe is pretty staggering.
Oh, the numbers on that were big.
Yeah, almost a four-fold increase in monthly active users compared to last year. 41.3 million users on average in just 6 months.
41 million. Wow. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it tells us people are increasingly comfortable turning to AI, not just for generating text, but for finding information.
Right. Search, specifically.
Well, it suggests a real shift in how we interact with the internet and maybe a growing expectation for AI-powered assistance in our daily online lives. Traditional search engines are definitely taking note.
For sure. Now, over in social media land, Bluesky is doing things a bit differently with verification.
Ah, yes, the blue ticks.
They're giving out blue ticks to accounts they deem authentic and notable. But here's the thing. You can't obviously request one like you can or could on X. It's all their call.
Interesting.
What do you think of that contrast?
Well, this raises an important question about what verification actually means for a platform, doesn't it?
Yeah.
X's model, it leaned towards a paid feature, sort of democratizing the blue tick in a way, for better or worse. Bluesky, on the other hand, seems to be prioritizing a more curated approach, potentially aiming to build a reputation for highlighting genuine and influential voices. It just reflects different priorities around platform identity and trust, I guess.
It'll be interesting to see which approach resonates more with users in the long run.
Definitely.
In other news, Rivian, the electric vehicle company, has brought on Aidan Gomez, the CEO of the AI startup Cohere, onto their board.
Right. Cohere, big name in generative AI.
Seems like car companies are realizing they're as much tech companies as they are auto manufacturers these days.
Exactly. That's been the trend. Modern vehicles are increasingly just sophisticated software platforms on wheels. Beyond just driving themselves eventually, AI can enhance everything from the user interface, entertainment, battery management, even predictive maintenance.
Right.
So Gomez's expertise in generative AI will likely be pretty crucial for Rivian as they navigate this evolving landscape.
Makes sense. Now, a little food for thought in the AI world. There's some chatter about crowdsourced AI benchmarking platforms like Chatbot Arena.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that.
Experts are a bit wary, suggesting that relying on user votes might lead AI labs to chase after sort of superficial improvements and maybe exaggerated claims, rather than focusing on really solid, well-validated capabilities.
This is actually a critical point about how we measure AI progress.
Okay.
While getting user feedback is valuable, of course, relying solely on subjective opinions can be misleading. The concern is that AI development might get steered towards what users perceive as better in these short, often informal interactions.
Rather than the deep stuff.
Exactly. Rather than focusing on core aspects like reliability, accuracy, and what's known as constructive validity, basically, whether the benchmark truly measures what it claims to measure in a meaningful way.
Gotcha. That makes total sense. Shifting gears to something that will likely make a lot of travelers happy. Airbnb is finally showing the total price of stays up front globally,
Oh, finally.
including all those fees before taxes.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing this in some places for ages, apparently like 6 years.
Right.
But now it's the standard everywhere. They
Yeah.
say it's all about making the experience clearer for users.
It's about time, isn't it? Transparency and pricing, it builds trust. And hidden fees have long been a source of frustration for consumers in, well, many industries.
Definitely.
This move by Airbnb likely reflects a response to that feedback and, a desire to create a more positive and predictable booking experience.
Seems like a good move. On a less sunny note, though, the FTC is suing Uber over their Uber One subscription service.
Ooh, okay. What's the issue?
They're alleging deceptive practices around billing and cancellations, claiming people were charged before free trials ended and that canceling was made unnecessarily difficult.
Ah, the classic subscription trap allegations.
Pretty much. Uber's defending themselves, naturally, saying their processes are clear, simple, and follow the letter and spirit of the law.
Well, this highlights the ongoing scrutiny of subscription-based services by regulatory bodies, ensuring clear and fair practices around signups, trial periods, cancellations. It's crucial for consumer protection.
Yeah.
The outcome of this case could set precedents for the wider tech industry, really.
We'll have to keep an eye on that one.
Yeah.
We also had a quick mention that Marks & Spencer, the big UK retailer,
M&S, right?
has confirmed they're dealing with a cyber incident.
Right.
Customers reported some outages, but the full details and whether customer data was affected aren't clear yet.
Oh, dear.
It's just another reminder, I suppose, of the constant cybersecurity challenges businesses face.
Absolutely. In our interconnected world, even large, well-resourced organizations are potential targets. Until more information emerges, it's just a general reminder for everyone to stay vigilant about their online security.
Good point. Now, for some interesting developments with Tesla, their Q1 earnings call happened recently.
Ah, Tesla earnings. Always eventful.
And there are reports of declining worldwide sales. Some banks are even calling it a code red situation, apparently worried that Elon Musk's focus on something called the U.S. Department of Government Efficiency, which sounds a bit cryptic.
Huh, never heard of that one.
Me neither. And his emphasis on self-driving tech over, say, cheaper EVs might be hurting the brand and investor confidence.
This paints a picture of a company at a potential crossroads, doesn't it?
Seems like it.
Balancing ambitious technological visions with current market demands is a constant challenge for innovative companies. The reports of declining sales and investor concerns suggest that the market might be signaling a desire for a different strategic direction,
Yeah.
or at least a clearer articulation of how those long-term bets on self-driving will translate into near-term growth and profitability.
Definitely some tension there. Okay, on a more technical note for the developers listening, Python 3.14 is slated to include something called template strings, or T-strings.
Ooh, okay. Beyond F-strings.
Apparently, yeah. These will offer even safer and more flexible ways to handle strings compared to the F-strings people already use. For those who code in Python, that sounds like a neat upgrade.
Yeah, for developers, improvements in core language features can have a significant impact on their daily work. Makes code cleaner, more efficient, maybe less prone to certain types of errors.
Right.
The evolution of string formatting in Python just reflects that ongoing effort to refine and enhance the language for its huge range of applications.
Cool. And finally, we got a peek at which AI tools people are actually, shelling out money for thanks to the Neuron newsletter.
Ah, interesting. What's the verdict?
No massive surprise. ChatGPT is the most popular, followed by Claude and Gemini.
The big players.
Makes sense.
But what's really interesting is seeing specialized tools like Perplexity for AI search, Cursor for coding, and Midjourney for image generation really gaining traction.
Right, the niche tools. It seems like while the big general-purpose models lead the way, people are also finding value in more niche, task-specific AI. And they mention a lot, access others through work, too.
This definitely indicates a maturing AI market. Users are moving beyond just experimenting with general AI and are starting to identify and invest in tools that provide specific benefits for their workflows or creative pursuits.
Yeah, finding the right tool for the job.
Exactly. The emergence of these specialized tools highlights the diverse applications of AI and the willingness of users to pay for solutions that truly address their needs.
Okay, let's try and wrap this up. From AI assistants that might help you land a job, or maybe not, to the ever-evolving landscape of social media and the future of electric vehicles. It's clear the tech world never stands still.
Absolutely not. And if we look at it all together, perhaps a key takeaway is just the continued and, frankly, accelerating integration of AI into so many different facets of technology in our daily lives.
Hmm.
It's a trend that's reshaping everything from how we find information to how companies are planning their entire future.
It really feels like it's everywhere now.
It is.
Well, thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to let us know in the comments, share it with anyone who geeks out about tech, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next exploration.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
And maybe a final thought to chew on. Out of all these rapid changes we've discussed today, which one do you think will have the biggest impact on your life in the coming years? Maybe it's something worth digging into a little further yourself. Until next time.